And last but definitely not least, let's bring in Lucky Mckee.
Lucky,
what is up, Lucky?
Hey, Lucky.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Looking good there.
Thanks. full Corona uniform.
Absolutely. That's why I'm wearing this hat. Everybody's giving me a hard time for my hat, but it's better than the alternative, which is Corona hair.
Corona hair.
So let's dig right into it. We're going to talk about the upcoming release of The Woman, which is when is it actually going to come out now? I know this, everything that's going on kind of delayed stuff.
Yeah, we hit a slight delay, but we're out on May the 26th in UK, US, and Canada, and it's all available on diabolicdvd.com.
All right, that's a great place to order from if anybody needs a good place to order Arrow stuff. They're fantastic people, and they ship fast, and it's a good place.
Get you all the fun stuff that Arrow brings out.
Definitely. So what all went into the release of this new Blu-ray? Whoever wants to field that one, feel free to.
I can talk about it a little bit. I mean, we basically remastered for The Woman. We remastered the film in 4K. The movie's never looked better, even when we first finished it. It's the best the movie's ever looked. It's just phenomenal. I was like almost had tears in my eyes watching it in the color room when we were finishing it. And I also had sitting in my old kind of pile of tapes at my office a bunch of an old hard drive with a ton. Next to all those tapes was an old hard drive with a bunch of footage that my dad had shot every day on set of the shooting of the film. And we went through all that footage and just kind of like culled it down and made this like 75-minute thing. There's no like interviews and no commentary, anything like that. It's just like you're just a fly on the wall on the set, a little bit of every single day on set of the making of the film. So it's pretty intimate and pretty cool, and just kind of shows like everything that went into it. So I don't know, that's really special to me, and it's all shot by my dad, so that's really special. So instead of fly on the wall, we called it Dad on the Wall. And we did a ton of new commentary tracks, and all the original extras are on there. I mean, it's just like, it's the coolest release that any of my films has ever had. And the cover art was done, was painted by my wife, who's an amazing portrait artist and illustrator. We've been working together longer than we've been together. Yeah, so I mean, it's just, I don't know, and just working with these guys, Mike and James and everybody, some of the old crew again and stuff. It's just been, I don't know, just phenomenal. I couldn't be more excited about a release than this one. So.
Well, that's what you can always count on with Arrow, because it seems like everything they release is just lovingly curated, and there's so much that goes into it.
It's almost like the equivalent of like having a Criterion edition for a genre film.
That's exactly right.
I have to agree. I mean, I think Arrow is the same. I mean, I think it's better. I think it's better. I think their catalog's better. I have to say their catalog's better too, because this is Frightmare, so we love their catalog.
Yeah.
Mike doesn't like, whenever I get together with Mike, I'm always profusely thanking him, and he's like, "Oh, stop it," But we love Arrow Video so much.
I first met Mike when we premiered The Woman in London at Fright Fest.
Oh, nice!
It was like our first hangout, and we had a little like the night before the show, we had a little freak out about the print and all this kind of stuff, but totally helped us figure it out, and we got it in there, and that was one of probably the best screening I ever had of the film too. So I'm gonna stick close to this guy, because good things happen around Mike Hewitt.
That was back at the Empire Cinema in Leicester Square, wasn't it? It was 1,400 seater, phenomenal screening. It's the second time I've released this film, really, for a second distributor, and it's amazing now to have it at Arrow, and James, as one of our producers, has just done a sterling job on this release. It's awesome. It's looking phenomenal.
Oh, thank you. Well, I mean, I was in the audience at that screening at the Empire, and I've been a fan of Lucky's since I caught May on TV in the middle of the night 15 years ago, I guess it would have been. Like and I remember kind of before The Woman came out. This is before Facebook and Twitter and everything. So there'd been a good few years since The Woods and Sick Girl, which were kind of the last things that Lucky had done. So to kind of have Lucky's wilderness years sort of end with The Woman, and it got this triumphant reception that night, was amazing to see. And so to be able to work on the film this new release of the film many years later has just been such an honor as a fan. So really pleased to do it.
And we did a premiere of The Woman here in Frightmare.
Yeah, Frightmare.
Yeah.
Was that the Texas premiere, Lucky? Or
yeah, it was. We had like a little red carpet thing and the whole deal. It was a good time. I think we got very, very drunk that night.
when you guys do one of these remasters, how long does it take? What goes into the process of doing this?
This one is, we the movie was originally shot digital on a Sony F23, I think, at the time, which was one of the better. It was like one down from the best camera that Sony was making at that time. We actually were still shooting on tape. It was recorded onto a tape, but we had all of those files saved on hard drives and everything like that. And we pulled all those back up and got them into the 4K space, and then that gave us more room for the blacks basically. So the film has like a snappier, kind of darker look to it now, and some of the shot matching is a little bit better, and it's just super crisp. It looks amazing on a big screen. It's going to look phenomenal at home. So, but it was a fun process. We have, I work in a shop here in the industrial district in El Paso that we have. It kind of gutted this old, like 120-year-old building, and a friend of mine just remodeled the inside of it. And we do our editing there and our sound work. And downstairs, a friend of ours built just a beautiful DI suite, color suite. So we've just been running all of our movies through there and everything. And it was just, a couple week process of us sitting down and just kind of going through every shot in the film and just making sure it looked, the best quality possible. But really fun process, actually. I haven't gotten to do that with any of my films yet. So it was really fun.
Thanks to Arrow.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, James, what all do you do? What all is your process when it comes to putting something out like this?
So for those who kind of didn't quite get the gist at the beginning, so I'm one of the Blu-ray producers at Arrow. So it's essentially my job to, once we acquire a film, to kind of conceptualize what the release is going to be, to research what else has been done with it before that maybe we can carry over, and what needs to be done from scratch. So kind of commissioning, finding someone to do the cover artwork, what bonus features there are going to be, trying to find that out, and kind of midwifing that all the way through to completion, essentially. So on something like The Woman, for example, The Woman is an example where we were in with the amount of stuff that existed already, and that these guys were bringing to the table. So in terms of what we kind of then added to that, one new extra that we've shot that I was really pleased we were able to get was that Lauren Ashley Carter, who's one of the actors from the film, who horror fans will also know from films like Darling and The Mind's Eye, and a terrific actress. She's moved to the UK, so we were actually be able to get someone in near where she lives to go and film a new interview with her, kind of recollecting her time on the film. So
I haven't seen that yet either. Too, I haven't seen her. Really, hope she doesn't drag me too hard.
And she was sign up and do it again.
Well, that's
but the really exciting thing, as Lucky said, was to be able to get his wife Vanessa to do the cover artwork, because Lucky posts Vanessa's artwork on his Twitter feed quite often. He's very kind of supportive, vocal supporter of her, as you would imagine, as you would hope. And she did a piece of artwork for May that I thought was just wonderful. It's a piece of artwork that shows the character of May in this kind of glass display case where she keeps a doll in the film. If you know the film, you'll know what I'm talking about. And I was really intrigued to see what she could bring to the table for The Woman, what she could do as well. And I kind of had this vague idea, well, it could be kind of a spin on, the classic American Gothic, the Grant Wood painting. And I think Andrew Van Den Houten is trying to call in as well.
It's weird. We're set up here, and I just saw him down here, but he may have bailed on us because.
There he is.
Listen, Andrew. I didn't want to impose, I'm watching you guys, so I'm like the fly on the wall.
Well, I didn't know if that was my fault, because I kind of have to scroll down to see you, and then I scrolled down and I saw that, and I was like, oh my gosh, I hope I didn't keep him waiting too long. So
it's all good. I'm enjoying this. Go on.
Hi, Andrew.
Andrew Van Den Houten was the producer of The Woman, right?
Yeah.
And the director of Offspring, which is the movie that's bundled in as a bonus if you buy this film in the UK or Canada. Unfortunately, we couldn't do it for the US yet, but maybe in a few years' time we'll be able to put that disc out in the US too.
Nice.
But it was really cool of James to ask, Vanessa to do the artwork for not only for the woman but for Offspring as well.
Yes.
This wasn't something that I suggested. I mean, if I saw an opportunity there, I would have suggested it. But a lot of distributors that you work with, they kind of have their usual people that they go to for these things and everything. So it was just like, I don't know, it was such a great day when he asked if Vanessa would be interested in doing that, and she put her heart and soul into both of those paintings. It was really, really fun to watch.
She was terrific and very patient with all of my notes and everything.
Totally.
So she did
yeah. You guys got it to a great place. I mean, it was a good collaboration. Yeah. But yeah, it's just.
She also did a great job on the Offspring artwork as well. I think really tie into each other beautifully, and. Vanessa,
she did all those at poster resolution too. So if that's something that's wanted down the road, you could have that thing big and loud and proud on your wall.
Oh, really that would be cool. I'm pulling it up right now. I'm gonna add it. I'm gonna show it on the page.
Yeah, let's pull it up because it's.
But you guys go ahead and talk while I'm doing that. Don't let me slow you down. Andrew, go ahead and talk a little bit about the production of the movie. We haven't gotten to you yet, so.
It was exciting. I mean, I think Lucky and I were talking about doing kind of a continuation of the woman's character, and he really wanted to get inside of her head for this particular story. And I think the challenges that I was faced with were particularly related to shooting the film. We had prepped the whole movie in Massachusetts, and then all of a sudden, give me 1 second, guys. Sorry.
No, you're fine. Hey, live streaming. Well, Lucky, I've got this here real quick while he's gone. We'll put it up.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool.
Yeah, there was a lot of back and forth about what her expression should be. Is it too savage? Is it not savage enough? And, they went back and forth on it a few times, and Vanessa kept doing mock-up after mock-up, and then eventually they just kind of found a place that they were all really happy with, and then she just goes in and does this like super hyper detail work on it and everything, and it's beautiful.
It is. It's really good.
Fine line between too pretty or too scary. That's kind
totally. Yeah. No, that was. Yeah. No, it was good. It worked out. It worked out really well. And should we talk about the other edition? Or were we going to talk about?
Go ahead.
This other thing, Mike.
Oh, right. Yeah. So not only on Blu-ray, we're also releasing the film as it's been remastered in 4K. It's going to be on 4K in digital, but we thought we'd go all the way the other way around as well. So we've teamed up with brokehorrorfan.com, and there's going to be a very limited VHS release, which is going to be available from May the 26th from witterentertainment.com. As I say, it's going to be very, very limited. It's using the same artwork, but the team there have taken the film and put it into the VHS format. We've got the Offspring trailer on there, and there's a couple of other inclusions from both Lucky and Andrew on the release.
That was witterentertainment.com?
Witterentertainment.com.
Perfect.
Yeah, and that's super special to me because, obviously I grew up, VHS was my lifeline to horror, especially because I grew up in a really rural area, so everything was seen on tape as a kid. And the only other movie of mine to be released on VHS was my first movie, May. That was kind of like right at the tail end where they were still making VHS editions of everything. So for this to kind of like bookend that is just, I don't know, it's going to be really special to put on the shelf. Really excited to have that thing in my hands.
I'm a VHS collector myself.
Yeah, I know a lot of people in our age range are big VHS folks. A lot of people are just like, do you even have a VCR? It's like, fuck yeah, I have a VCR. All the people have VCRs still.
I have a beta machine too, so I'm even worse. I'm a huge nerd.
Something special about just putting that cassette in and just hearing all those noises. It brings back memories.
Yeah. There's a lot of nostalgia there for sure.
So, Andrew, did you put out that fire?
Yes, my daughter was screaming in the other room, and this is the thing about live streaming. At least she didn't run in the middle of the interview. But she's adorable. She's like 3 years old and change, and this whole quarantine bit has just sent us all into a bit of a conundrum sometimes. And so she's fine. It's all good.
Did you lock her in the closet again?
I did. I put her in the closet. No,
was she watching The Woman? Is that what she was doing?
Yeah, it was crazy though. We were planning to shoot the whole movie in Michigan, and then the state basically said you can't make this film, due to censorship, they said it's not good for tourism, so you're going to have to shoot somewhere else. And so I had to literally, I think we had 2 weeks or 3 weeks to find another place to shoot the movie, and we went to Massachusetts. And Lucky and Lucky was so awesome about it. He was so supportive and just like, we got to do what we got to do. And I was like, yeah, I mean, we definitely, we need to get the movie made. And so I remember landing on the front page of the New York Times as an article, page A1, talking about, with Michael Seepley, about how Michigan forced us to go to Massachusetts. And I never in a billion years thought that, I'd ever be on the front page of the New York Times, let alone be talking about a horror film on the front page of the New York Times. So the General Attorney's Office called me up in Massachusetts and said, well, what's going on with this movie you're bringing to our state? And, what is this, pornography? And I was like, absolutely not. It's an R-rated sequel to a film that Sam Raimi's company in Lionsgate released previously, that I directed. This is actually going to be an awesome, exciting horror film. And Lucky Mckee, the acclaimed director, is going to be writing and directing it. So they basically, said, all right, well, just be safe. You can shoot in Massachusetts. We're not going to censor you. I said, great, because we want to make our fucking movie.
Yeah.
So, and we did.
Which is also really strange because you had already shot Offspring there, and I think Offspring is actually way more graphic and kind of brutal in a lot of ways than The Woman actually is.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was crazy.
Michigan. My wife's from Detroit, so I can talk bad about them if I want to. You lose, Michigan. Sorry, you lost.
That's your lose, Michigan. Sorry, Michigan.
Yeah, the best thing about Andrew starting everything in Michigan is that he discovered a brilliant sound designer in Andrew Smetic. And I brought Andrew onto The Woman. We were just one of those situations where you meet somebody and you're just on the same page, and he's done everything I've made since. He even has an office here in El Paso where we do all of our pre-dubbing and stuff like that. Phenomenal person, And by the time we got to post on The Woman, I was living in Oklahoma at the time in a house in the middle of nowhere, just the deep country. And the whole post-production process of that movie was Andrew Smetic, the songwriter Sean Spillane, and the editor Zach Passero, and me, just in my house in the middle of the woods in Oklahoma, and just four dudes just isolated themselves for a few months out there. And it was one of the greatest creative experiences I've ever had. It was almost like when you hear about like a band like going off to like record an album in a castle or something like that. It was kind of like that sort of experience. So it was extremely special.
Well, it's a fantastic movie, and I think everybody needs to see it. And I'm excited for the release coming up on Arrow. I think it's going to just bring it up another notch. You didn't really need that, but it's going to be great.
It's going to blow us all away. We're very much looking forward to it, and of course, we're sad about a slight delay, but not too long. Not too long. We only got a few more weeks to wait.
Yeah,
worth the wait. And it's so good to see all these guys and see you again, Lloyd, and you guys see everybody here, because all of us, we usually deal with each other in emails and everything. So it's good to see your faces, and it's good to say thank you to all of you for supporting what I do and for supporting, the teams of people that I work with and everything like that. It means a lot. So
thanks is all ours. Lucky and Andrew, you've always been there for us, for Frightmare. And you discovered, didn't you discover one of the actresses at Frightmare? Your dad did, right?
Yeah, the girl Shyla, who plays Darlin in my film, the little girl. Her parents had a table next to my table that year, and I had just finished writing the screenplay, and my dad saw that little girl walking around, and he was like, "That looks like that character that you just wrote." And we made friends with their parents, and then 6 months later or something like that, this little girl, who had never been on a film set before, ended up in the film, and then that turned into, Polly loving that Darling character so much that, she created a whole new, the third film, basically, out of that character. So, yeah, Frightmare, making it happen. Yeah.
Well, that's a cool story.
Yeah.
Mike, before we go, Mike and James and Andrew, do you guys have anything to add that you want to talk about the release, or?
No, I'm good. I think we're back tomorrow, aren't we? So we can talk a little bit more about, our slate then. But no, over to you, Andrew, if you've got anything else.
No, just thank you. I echo what Lucky said. I mean, it was a real honor to get to go back even with Offspring as well and kind of remaster the original Super 16 negative and go into 4K HDR with that. And I do, hope that we'll be able to have that come out in the US, down the line as well as kind of a companion piece to Lucky's, Lucky. I think it's just been great, man. You guys at Texas Frightmare have always been so supportive of the genre and independent horror, and it's you guys are doing this. I know it's a shame that we can't all be there. We were all so excited to come down and party and meet the fans and hang out. So it's good that we can at least do this, and hopefully in the near future we'll all be able to get to celebrate in person. Thank you guys again for everything.
Well,